Hello, friends. Those are my friends who have accepted the challenge to recover from all agonies and to take the challenge confidently and to achieve comfort even in chronic ailments. For you, I have a news, I must say. I have got a remedy which I came across on 31st December in the morning 2018 when I got up or I was woken up by my wife and she was shocked to see my face and my left side was completely paralyzed. I had a complete stroke on the left side. But what we are learning is not to talk about the bad news. What we are going to talk about is how can we breathe and feel comfortable and confident even in an extremely traumatic condition. And that's what I call the wonders of surrender. Now, we're going to discuss today the practical values of surrendering to the situation. Are, in any inevitable situation, even if it's other than, health or something, if we start feeling bad, if we start, whining and we start complaining and we start weeping, it does not help us, rather, it increases the, I would say the increases, the problem and its magnitude is rather multiplied because of our feeling bad. So the first practical value of surrender is that it starts giving you kind of, a relaxed mind. And especially when we are having a stroke and you're talking about something to do with our brain and then to mind, which is two different things, we must be able to get as relaxed as possible, which we'll talk about in more details later. That there is something known as spontaneous recovery. That spontaneous recovery is something natural, tendency of the brain to, put itself right. Anyway, when I was in the ambulance, I was bombarded with all kind of questions as to what has happened to me, what has happened to me. And it was teasing to think as to what will happen now afterwards. I will be now paralyzed, I will be handicapped forever. The life of disability was a challenge which was haunting me. And the another very big teasing question was, why me? Of all the people in the world, why is it me whose head already has had heart? I got two stents in my heart about 10 years back. But I should have been more conscious and I should have been more, cautious about this, thing which is having that problem with the arteries and blood clot and all, the reason for the becoming a reason for the stroke. I mean, coming back to the topic, you see, the moment in the ambulance, I thought of, that what can I, achieve by this all, haunting questions. That I was reminded of an article I read in Reader's Digest, perhaps when I was in 20s. That came to my rescue, I tell you. It was about parents who had lost their only child, perhaps, in a car accident. And they were extremely, perturbed and they were, weeping and that thing. And then they thought about the surrender and, and as a religious people, the patience, and they thought about, that we are the same question was in their mind as to why we, why have we lost our child, etc. But to cut the story short, what we are learning here is that the moment in the ambulance, coming back to the exact topic, I felt that there is somebody else I need to look at and to worry about, and that was my wife. And can you believe it, when I looked at her face perhaps was more frozen and more paralyzed than my entire left side. And I just thought that how to make her relaxed. I had, experienced this phenomena we call the surrender. And I had surrendered to the situation. So when I looked at her, I just wanted to make her feel relaxed as well. And all of a sudden, I looked outside the window and I said, "Look, there's some birds flying." You know, I'm a flyer, and flying is something to do with my good mood and all. I don't know how much this made her relaxed, but it certainly made great difference in my mood. And this has become now almost, I mean, a joke for us, or something which we use whenever there is something wrong happening or something. Everybody will tell me, "Look, there is a bird flying," so to make me relax. So after that, the story goes to the place where, I mean, to the hospital. Now, the second stage, I would say, of surrender, that the moment I saw so many, experts, doctors, their team all around me, my friends, it made me have the second, second time a feeling of surrender, that why do I have to worry now anymore? Now there are people who are expert, and then there's a problem, my friends are there, and they'll take care of me, and my God Almighty is there to take care of me. Now we come to the other aspect of the other, fruit of this wonders of surrender, and that is the moment I try to relax. This the moment as I talked about the God Almighty, the patience is perhaps one of the attributes. It's one of the qualities all believers are supposed to have and know the value of it. In all, sacred scriptures, the patience is something which is talked about with very, high, value. So then this another fruit I would call it is that, the patience, and then I felt as if the loving lap of God Mighty is there to take care of me and all my problems.